We are Team Agriculture, and we will be sharing our pitch. And Tamara will start. We are focusing on agriculture and food production. So Tamara, I'll be pitching Tamara and me. So Tamara will go first, and I'll finish it off.
Good afternoon, good morning, everyone. As the agriculture group, we sat down and looked around our community to find out the challenges that people in our community are facing in agriculture. And during our research, it was discovered that the problem that the farmers in Zambia, the tomato farmers in Zambia are facing is that 60% of their harvest every year is wasted due to the perishable nature of the crop. And during this period, the demand is lower than the supply, hence tomatoes are being wasted. Not only that, this disadvantages the farmers in the sense that they end up making losses instead of making profit out of the tomatoes that they harvest. The solution to our problem is that as the young Zambian youths, we decided to come up with a processing company that will turn this perishable crop into tomato paste of different flavors. Not only that, we'll be buying these tomatoes from our local farmers in the sense that it will create a market for them where these perishable crops will be sold, and at the same time, it will bring profit to the farmers instead of them making losses. This will enable the farmers to have a market where they will sell their products. Then our business model will start with the small-scale farmers. From Chivombo, that's our target area where we'll get the small-scale farmers. We'll create groups of 10 groups in each area in Chivombo. These farmers will come together and will be supplying us tomatoes. Then logistics will provide a truck that will be coming from Chivombo to Lusaka, where our processing plant is going to be located. This truck will be carrying 20 to 50 boxes of tomatoes, which will be brought to our processing plant. Once it's brought to our processing plant, this is where the tomatoes will now be processed into tomatoes of different pastes and high quality, so that it can match the tomato paste that are imported from abroad. Our packaging will be in a sense that it will be environmental friendly, so that we do not damage the environment, but at the same time, as we are conducting this business, we are trying to protect the environment. Distribution channels will use sales representatives, as well as taking our products to supermarkets such as ShopRite and Pick and Pay. We plan on signing a contract with these supermarkets so that we can supply to them weekly about 300 to 500 bottles of our tomato paste, so that it can reach a wide range of people in Zambia. Since we know ShopRite has more than 30 outlets in Zambia, and this will enable us to reach people in different cities. Our target is to reach 10 cities in Zambia, and through ShopRite, we shall achieve that target. Then which shows this idea because of the market validation that it has. We've seen a growth in the demand of convenience food products, and it has shifted over organic products. For we plan on making our product organic, so that each and every person can purchase this product and use it in their food without worrying of the chemicals that are in the product. And according to the FAU, it has been estimated that there will be an industrial growth for the tomato paste over the years that are coming. Our research showed that 40 million out of 13 million population in Zambia consumes these tomato pastes. And as a processing company, our target for the first year is to capture 10% of that population, which is about 560,000 consumers. Once we reach these consumers, we shall see and expect a markup in profit of 10% in the first year. Kappa can take it up with the competition.
All right. So our research and the background checks that we have done, currently the big suppliers of tomato paste in Zambia are All Gold, and we have Fresh Kipped. So with All Gold is an imported good quality sauce with an established brand name already in Zambia. So we could tell that All Gold have really penetrated the market, and currently they are our biggest competitor. So what we intend to equally do, and with the other brand as well, we have Fresh Kipped, which is a well-known brand in the market, and it has attractive packaging and it is good quality. The other competitor that we have is Tapi's tomato sauce, which is locally made and is still trying to penetrate the market. Now, our competitive advantage as real paste is that it is 85% organically made, and it will have a good packaging that will be more appealing to our consumers. You can go to the next slide, just the next slide. As I was saying, our competitive advantage is that it is 85% organically made, and it is very healthy to partake. So the other competitive advantage that we have is that we'll have very good packaging that will be very appealing. And then the reduced import costs will translate into a very competitive price. Considering that we are still trying to penetrate the market, we'll definitely ascertain the fact that we will give a more realistic and competitive price. And also, the real paste being locally produced will give a longer shelf span. So we'll have a longer shelf span, and due to the few additives, such as preservatives that will be added, we'll be able to have our product on the shelf from about 8 to 6 months, as opposed if it was organically made, which will only make it last for about 2 months or a month tops. So our ask is 80,500. Ambitious, but it is definitely the real paste way. And if you know that you're offering a good product, this 80,500 kwacha will definitely ascertain and will definitely help us create a good product that will help the local people. So this 80,500 kwacha encompasses machinery equipment, which will include an industrial blender, and will also include boilers and other machinery that we'll need for processing the tomatoes. Also, the 80,500 kwacha will encompass research, raw materials, marketing, product development, labor, warehouse costs, and miscellaneous funds. Now, if we move to our sales projection, what we are basically looking at our sales per unit for the first year is we intend to make 3,600 bottles of tomato paste. And as explained in the business model, our price will be 15 kwacha for the first year, which is because we are trying to penetrate the market with a low price penetration strategy, so we can attract many more people and also try to gain entrance into a very monopolized market. So we'll sell our tomato paste for 15 kwacha, and our total revenue at the end of the first year is 54,000 kwacha. By second year, we'll scale up to 4,800 sales, and we intend on making 72,000, putting our financial growth at 20%. Then in the fifth year, we intend on scaling up and penetrating the market to a point where we can produce 7,800 and sell 7,800 bottles as well, at a price of 20 kwacha, considering we would have gained ground of the market and would be able to gain access into that heavily monopolized market. And our total revenue would be 156,000 kwacha, with the financial growth being at 85%. Our growth strategy is low prices for the same value, if not better. What we intend to give in a small bottle, is something that you can acquire for a very low price, but still maintain the same quality, and the value for money is definitely guaranteed. How else do we intend to grow? We intend to grow through social media advertisement and campaigns. You can all agree with me to say this is a digital space, this is a digital world we're in. And it's arguably one of the times that social media has come to light, and we definitely have to push the social media agenda. And what a good place to advertise your product. So we intend on having a lot of social media campaigns that would help spread word of our product. And also thirdly, we also intend on using organic leads, which would be in form of success stories based off our clients that have used our real paste, and they're able to testify of how good it is, but still being able to, how they've still been able to acquire it for a very low price. And we also, lastly, amongst our growth strategy is we intend on using networking. We'll network with as many people as we can and interact. And at the center of our networking is we are trying to foster co-opetition instead of competition. So we move on to our team. Under our team consists of agriculture experts, business study, business administration students, development experts, and finally practicing marketers. So we have a skill set, a wide skill set, and we are definitely ready to penetrate the market with our real paste. Thank you very much for your attention. Any questions?
Great job, guys. I do have a question, but we'll wait for the other judges to come in. Can you guys hear me okay?
We can, indeed.
Okay, awesome. Great presentation. I really like the idea of tomatoes, just in terms of the versatility. So I thought it was a great presentation. I just have a couple of questions. What I didn't see in the presentation is how are your costs increasing as you're scaling? So you have your projections, right, where you're saying that you're going to do X amount of revenue year over year, but what percentage of your cost is going to increase year over year?
Tamara, should I take this up, or are you willing to take it up?
Kamfua will take it up.
Okay. All right. So what percentage of our, amongst our costs, what gets to increase? Because in the first year, we are producing 3,600. Mm-hmm. And in our costing for the second year is we are trying to beef up and produce more. So definitely we're looking at spending more on machinery, and that's more boilers, and also looking at spending on more logistics, and also paying more to the small scale farmers and buying more bulk. So in a nutshell, we're spending more on storage, buying more boilers, and we're also looking at spending more on the small scale farmers and the transport cost as well.
But what percentage would that be? So will your costs go up by 10%, 20%?
Oh, okay. So for the first year, our growth will be at, in terms of costing, it'll be at 20%. And then in the second year, we're looking at growing to about 83.5%.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I also have a question. So I have two questions for you. The first one is, have you actually tried making the product and selling it? And then the second question is, have you thought of other complementary products that you can add to your product line?
Okay, this project actually started last year. So in the process, we were trying out different recipes so that we can, it goes through tasting, through ZAPs, because for us to let the product be on the market, it first has to be tasted through ZAPs. So we've done a few tests, and we are yet to get the final results from ZAPs so that we can put the product out on the market. We want to go the legal way. We don't want to do the illegal way of selling a product without it being certified by the Zambian government.
Okay, actually, that's a good point. I have a question, if I may. Yeah, I go ahead. Okay, so the point you made is actually the first question that I had, which is about the legal and food standards requirements. Have you looked at what they are and how difficult it may actually be to enter into this market? Because this market has not grown for many reasons. And so, which brings me to my second question. You looked at your competitors in terms of which ones are best selling, but did you look at the challenges in your sector? Why is it that everybody's not doing this already, considering that this is a prime product across actually the whole of Africa? Tomato paste is the basis of most of our dishes.
All right. We looked at that as well. What we realized is that it's expensive to buy the machinery and set up plants. It's not something that someone without a financially stable, someone who's not financially stable can start up. And the requirement process is quite long, especially the legal part, because you have to buy standards from ZABS from here in Zambia, which is also a huge amount. And then the setting up of a plant, a processing plant, is something very challenging that you need a lot of finances for you to set up the plant. So those are the challenges that we've seen people facing in this industry.
And also just to add on, aside that, the other thing has been the lack of distribution channels, because if we're to go with the distribution channels of just selling in grocery stores, the profit margins that most people were making are not really as much as we are hoping to make in the first 5 years, because we hope to get a bigger distribution network, such as Pick and Pay, and also look at ShopRite as well. So our distribution channels have definitely discouraged people from engaging in this business.
Well, maybe one point I can add for you, because I'm actually into the chocolate manufacturing. So it's very easy to think about ShopRite or Pick and Pay as your customers. They're quite challenging actually to get in when you're starting off. So you may want to think about other channels that you go into. So when you work with ShopRite or Pick and Pay, your margins will be low because they're also wanting to take a margin off your product. So what you want to think about is, do I want to go directly to the customers? Actually, they can buy from you. So maybe you partner with a distribution company, and that way you get at least a higher margin compared to going into the stores. Also think big. Zambia is there, but the world is your oyster. You can actually export. There are lots of countries that do not produce, that do not grow their own tomatoes.
And and to that point, in the United States, there's a law called AGOA, right? And AGOA it allows African farmers to bring their goods and services to the United States duty-free. And what is big in the United States are things like sun-dried tomatoes, right? And so I think that both of the ladies are asked about that. So it's a diversification. In business, it's really important not to only have one stream of income. So the paste is a great idea, but what are some additional products that you can make, like sun-dried tomatoes, that can be exported and have a higher shelf life, right? So just to think about what are some of the other products you can add to your pipeline without incurring additional costs.
Yes. Okay.
I just one small thing to add. Don't be afraid to start small. That's what I want to say. Much as you have a big ambition, don't be afraid to start small. At the end of the day, your success will be based on your relationships with the farmers and the relationships with your markets and distribution. And relationships take time to build. It takes time to be able to negotiate prices, all of that. So those are things that you can do on a small scale and then scale up, and that will underpin the success of your business. So don't focus too much on the machinery and the bulk. Focus on the relationship that underpins your value chain.
maybe I can add to that as well, because I asked the question about basically how, have you produced something yet? Tamara, for some reason, I can't hear you. But I was actually able to go on YouTube and see how you can actually start producing. So think about, without even having the machinery, you can actually start producing right now. That's how we started our chocolate company, with very small equipment.
Nice.
Oh, Dr. Amsonda. Oh.
Now, Tamara, thank you, judges. Thank you guys for such a great presentation. Obviously, you did a great job with their perspectives and comments. I hope you could take it with you in the long run. We are moving forward in our agenda. I love that you got such great advice on what you could do with your idea. Moving forward, we have climate change that will present on